All right, hey everybody, RV Enthusiast here. Nice seeing you again. Hey, today we are taking the Hayoki Cheetah out for a ride. Weather's about 67 degrees. It's about 10 something in the morning, 10:07, and we're taking this for the no pedal. How far will this bike go? And we have a few more we're going to do this way, and then we'll be done with that for now. So let's get all set up and then we'll head out. There will be no 360 film. I'm not doing that anymore because that right now on these long rides just doesn't work. It takes up too much data and it's a pain. Let's get on the ride and talk about that. Hey, I think a bike is arriving, so I'm not going anywhere yet.
20 minutes later.
All right guys, here we go. We did wait around for FedEx to show up. Very interesting. He did the whole neighborhood and then showed up to my house, which is great. I'm glad I waited. So we have another bike, and we have another one coming in beginning of next week. So we have one coming in, it says Sunday, but I don't know if it's going to come in on Sunday. All right, guys. So we are out on the Hayoki Cheetah. Hayoki Cheetah has a cruise control, so it's very nice. This is a 750 watt 26 by 4 inch tire bike. This has it runs at 48 volts and it has 25 amps of battery. Has two batteries, one is 14 and one is 11. And it's baby bike, its sister bike is called Haoqi Antelope Pro. The Pro also comes with two batteries, a 14 and an 11. I believe they are matched batteries. I believe what's on the Pro will fit on this, and what's on this will fit on the Pro. So, making sure that my app is running. If we get the app to run, make sure it's running so we're counting miles. So that's what we want to do, is we want to make sure our miles are right. See? Started, but it didn't go. So we'll start here. We know we're about 4/10 in, so we'll add that in. 9.8. No, we were at 9.4, so 4/10. Anyway, this one's going to take a while, and so I've been doing these a while, and lately I've been doing full videos on them, the full-length video. I think what I'm going to continue to do is the full-length video, and if you guys want to watch it, fantastic. If you guys want to skip to the end just to see the kind of miles it gets, be my guest. Skip to the end, because what we think is going to happen is most people are going to watch the first few minutes and either turn it off because it's so long, but what they really should do is skip to the last 2 minutes and see the distance that this goes, because I really don't tell you up front how far it went, and but in the last 2 minutes of the video we'll run the Relive app and you'll see how far it goes. So today is a non-pedal day, and I'm gonna do the same on the Antelope, and I'm considering doing half the ride on this fully, the full ride, but show you half of it, and then do the full ride on the Antelope and show you the results of it as well. I'm kind of throwing that in the air. It's a possibility, just not sure yet. So stay tuned. Anyway, a bike came in. I was waiting to leave the house, and I saw UPS drive by, and I was expecting a bike today. But they don't tell you a real good time. UPS tells you up till 7 o'clock in the morning or at night. So 7 o'clock is too much. 7 o'clock is too late for me to wait, because I got other things. I'm going out to dinner with my wife and some friends tonight. But when he came by, I was like, oh, he might have it on his truck, or they may have another truck delivering it later on this afternoon or this evening, right? So fortunately it was on his truck. Unfortunately for me, he did the whole neighborhood before he delivered my bike, and that's okay. I just kind of stood around and waited for him to show up, and if he was passing me by, I would have said, all right, let's go for the ride. Would have wasted about 10 minutes, but no big deal. I got plenty of sunshine, plenty of warm weather, and yeah, this is exciting. So the Hayoki Cheetah, I got the green. It comes in black as well. I believe it's black, and it might come in white. This is probably the largest bike I have. For me, I'm already telling you, with the second ride on it, it's a little bit forward leaning, so I feel more muscles in the forearms and the shoulders as I ride this bike. So if this is a keeper for me, which I believe it is, what's going to happen is this is going to get either an adjustable stem, or it's going to get a more higher-rise handlebars. I heard my phone, or not my phone, but my camera make a noise. Just making sure we're still recording. And we are, so don't know why that noise was made. So today I think with these long rides like this, so I'll tell you, on the Magicycle ride and the Engway ride, and I think there's another ride, I don't remember what bike, I did 360 with me as well, and had the camera sitting out there, and did the ride, came home, started editing it, and my phone tells me every so often, hey, your memory's full. I'm like, it can't be. I have no photos or videos in. Well, one of the registers in the iPhone, when you do as much video recording and stuff as I do, one of the registers screws up and says you cannot add any more. So you dump everything seems fine, and then you think you got space, and when you try to download it from the camera to the phone, it says, nope, you have no memory. So I've had to dump my phone about 6 weeks ago because of it. And then this time I tried everything again, and I was about ready to dump the phone, and it was late at night, and I said, well, I'll just wait until the morning. And then in the morning, it had cleared itself. So that's nice. It was very nice that it cleared itself. And so now I have memory to record again. All right, so I released the throttle, and at least from pure setup, it does not have cruise control. Yeah, I don't know how far we're going. I'm doing 20-something miles an hour, 22 right now. And, you know, this is probably, my guess is this is going to be a 30, if you do the numbers, 48 volts, 25 amps. If you do 50 at 25 amps, that's about 1,200 watts. Then you take that 1,200 watts, and you say, what does the motor put out? The motor puts out 750. Well, this bike should ride about an hour 0.6. So an hour and 6, depending on how much power you're using, of course, how many watts. Right now looks like I'm using about 575 watts as I'm catching up to speed. Anyway, so this should get me about anywhere from 30 to 35 miles. I'm thinking closer to 35 miles. And I'm not going to talk to you that long. And it may be that I actually shorten the ride as I quit talking so we can get the miles in and then we'll report back in. But I want to show you what a beautiful day we're having. It's, like I said, 67, 68 degrees now. I'm in a t-shirt, didn't even bring a sweatshirt, shorts, and the breeze that's breezing on me at 22 miles an hour, it has to be 22 miles an hour. It's not cold. It's not warm, but it's not cold at all. You can ride in this all day and not feel like, oh, I got cold from it. So for those who are joining me on just the Hayoki ride, what I do is I ride the same pattern, back and forth, back and forth. And the pattern out is about 6.9 miles or so 7 miles. Then I ride 7 back. And then usually I ride something like 10 more closer in. On this bike, I think I'm going to be able to ride the trip twice, and then maybe even a little bit more, and we'll see. So if I can do the trip twice, you'll get to see all this beautiful scenery a couple of times with the sun changing a little bit. And I am in PAS 4 going 22. I'm going to hit PAS 5 and see what it does. Now we're in PAS 5. She's picking up. She's not picking up real fast, but she's already at 23.6. And I'm going slightly uphill. We're going to flatten out here to the church, and that'll tell us what we were really getting. So my wife and I were talking about a church last night, and she was like, isn't that St. Francis? I'm like, I don't know. And she goes, you go by it all the time. I said, I don't know. And so when I go by it this time, I'm going to see if it's St. Francis, because she's like, oh, they're having a steak dinner for their people, blah, 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 you know, or for the community. I guess you buy in. But it's not something we would do or we'd go to. All right, so she's now doing throttle only. She was doing 24 and a half. Slightly uphill again. But this bike is a very nice bike. It's very well built. Has Gemma hydraulic brakes. The bell's right here, right there. And it's a nice bike. 7-speed. I think it's an Altish derailleur in the back. We'll stop and look. But yeah, now I'm riding with just the Insta360 4K facing me and a 4K facing away from me, instead of using the 360 mod. 360 mod takes a lot of energy to use. Much better to use on lower end rides, smaller rides, shorter rides. All right, so let's see. Is this, yeah, this is St. Francis. Didn't know that. All right, so St. Francis and steak dinner, there it is. Tomorrow, I guess there's a steak dinner at St. Francis, guys. What do you think of that? Yeah, today's been a long wait. Even earlier in the week when I knew we were getting better weather, like I knew today was a long wait. Today's supposed to be in the 80s. I think it's supposed to get up to 87. That's why I want to do a back-to-back. I want to ride this, and then I'd love to ride the Hayoki Antelope Pro and get these two completed. And then I'll have like a full Traxxas ride and a full other ride. And then I think at that point, we will move on to the newer bikes that are coming in, other than fun rides. There may be a couple of more behind the Traxxas that I need to do a full ride on. I'll have to look up on it. So, as a YouTuber, you kind of get used to talking to people, and you kind of get used to, you know, people looking at you when you're riding and chatting it up to yourself. And I'm used to people looking at me when I'm riding the smaller bikes, the 20 inchers. I love the 20-inch bikes, by the way. Really, one of my favorite rides is the 20-inch bikes. I enjoy them a lot more. I think I get a lot more looks from people like, dang, big boy. Can that bike support you? Yes, it can. But I enjoy them, and I have a lot of them. So I'll be doing a lot of those rides just after we catch up on these. Now, the bike that came in today is a 26, I think, by 3-inch fat tire bike, not a 4-inch fat tire bike. I did ask the company for the one that it was the 4-inch tire, and he said they were, again, low stocked on that, and would I mind taking this one, which is the 3-inch tire. Yeah, I don't mind taking it, but I think the battery's a little smaller, so I don't think it's going to go as far on the non-assist ride, and that's okay. You know, it is what it is. Also, I want to talk about this too. I didn't talk about this in the previous rides, but I should have. And I should talk about it almost in a lot of rides. So, you know, you'll see some of us, you'll see me especially, and maybe some of the others riding e-bikes that, you know, from the manufacturer are their entry-level e-bike. So let's go with the Angway EP2 Pro. Or, you know, I have others. My heybikes are entry-level heybikes. When we talk about those and I say, hey, these are great bikes for $900 to $1,000 or from $800 to $1,100 bucks or $1,200 bucks, believe it, they are great bikes for that price. Do they compare to a bike like this that's sitting closer to $2,000? They're nice bikes. They ride very, very similar, but most of the components on these are a little bit better. The ride's a little bit better. The frame is bigger, obviously. These usually come with hydraulic brakes. Just a little bit more upscale. Now, are these the top of the line 750 watt throttle only class 3 e-bikes out there, and they're the most expensive? No, they're not. There's some out there, man, that run, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 bucks and maybe more. That's out of most normal people's budget. I'm not poor, and it's out of my budget. It's out of my budget. Even if my wife said, hey, you can get this bike at $14,000, you know, no, my brain has a mental capacity of up to about 3,000 bucks. So that's kind of where I'm at. Now, would I take one if a manufacturer gave it to me? Absolutely, I would take it. Absolutely, I would review it. But the thing you got to remember, it's just like the rich people in the world. only maybe the die-hard e-biker or the rich will buy that bike. Those are the only two. All right, we've made it here. Like I said, this is about 6.9 miles away. We'll stop here. All right, we should be back live, and now we're going to go back for our next ride. I already told you those are nut brakes, I believe. Everything looks good. Everything's riding good. We're down to 1 bar. So, as we know, this rides through that bar, and then it blinks for a long time. Not blinks, but it goes for a long time before it dies after that. So. All right, here we go. So the only thing you got to worry about when you're doing these is to resume the app. If you don't resume the app, you got to look at the speedometer and figure out how much extra you rode. Like when I did the Cheetah, I rode 0.4 more than the app showed. If you do it for much more than that, you're going to have to redo. And I hate to redo, so. Or you calculate it. Say, all right, that was, go back and ride that little segment again, and then put a little piece over it saying, this number is what it should be. Kind of like put a little tag over the top of what you rode. I mean, you want to be fair. So far, I haven't had to do that, but yeah, the weather's pretty nice. It's funny, you look at me, I'm short sleeve, shorts, gym shoes, of course, helmet, glasses, gloves. My minimum amount you need for safety, and you see all these other people, they got windbreakers on, coats, jackets. This weather's too nice for all of that. Now up to about 60, unless it's winter and your blood's a little thicker, that's a different story. You might be able to get out in 60 without it all. Probably not for a long ride as this, for sure. But 67 and better for me, probably 65 and better for me is great. But I sure like 67 to 72. It's amazing with some of the wind that we have here. We don't have up on them hills some windmills. You would think when you look right up there you'd see windmills. It's clear cut enough, you would think you would see it, but I don't see it. We still got a little bit of snow up there though. I might be the most visible biker on this path. I think I probably rode this more than anybody, certainly anyone that I know. Anyone else that's from the Portland area that rides, and you know who you are, there's several that watch my channel that ride this road. How often do you ride it? I ride it minimally once a week, minimally. Probably twice a week. And in the last 2 weeks, probably twice a day. Nah, maybe once a day, 10 times at least. There's something about the country smell, people. Take a ride out in the country. Smells beautiful. So if you didn't watch the Cheetah ride, you're watching this ride. And the reason we do this on every bike is on the Cheetah, once that last digit goes away on the battery, once that last bar goes away, on a Cheetah, it continues to go for a long time. Maybe there's 15% left in the battery before it cuts off. So we do that so when you get your bike, if you watch this, you'd say, oh, I know when that last battery goes, I need to be close to home, or I need to be getting it ready to be recharged. So once it goes, it's got more juice in this particular one. That's not the case with many other bikes. Many other bikes, once that battery goes to, once that last bar goes to 0, you got less than a mile, usually less than a half a mile, and then it'll cut off and give you nothing. It'll cut off and give you absolutely nothing. So that's why we ride it. So those who do watch the channel and buy one of the bikes understands, they'll watch, you know, if you bought like this bike, you'll watch this a couple of times and try to figure out some of the ins and outs. And one of the ins and outs on this one is once that battery last digit drops off, this bike still has a distance to go. On a lot of bikes, this last digit, you'd look at that and you say, okay, I definitely got to turn back and be home. And on this one, I'm not worried about, because on the Cheetah, which is the same manufacturer, once it went out, I had a lot more riding to do, a couple of miles for sure. I think it went out on one of the rides. I was in the neighborhood, but I think I did 3 laps, and I think it did 2.5 of the 3 laps, which is 2 miles, 2.5 miles. And when I rode the Cheetah, I turned around to go back to the chip plant, the bark dust plant, and just as I turned around, that last digit went off. So that's when I turned around and rode back to the house and rode around the house for a long time. This time, if it goes off at about the same place, I'm going to continue all the way down to the chip plant. I think I'm going to stop here and take a picture. Let's see, what would it look like? I don't think it'd be good because that berm's too high, but I'd like to have it up there and take a picture that way. That'd look really good. Oh, look at that. That's a bobcat. That's a bobcat right there. Did you guys see it? Oh, maybe, no, you know what it is? That's a coyote. That's a coyote, guys. He's vole hunting. Or cat hunting. Or something. But that's a coyote. I don't know how much longer my wife's going to be, but I am certainly going to, I think I might get out on another bike and just do some pedaling. The other thing a lot of you do is you get to listen to music. I could probably pipe music into my earphones, but with the wind it's a little too much for me. And YouTubing, I like to think about what I'm talking about rather than listening to music, but I sure would like to listen to some music. And I do have earphones that I use when I mow that cover my ears completely, and they have that they have the exterior noise blocking and noise cancellation. And that would be great to listen to music and ride, but I don't typically do that. I always focus on the task at hand, man. The task at hand is riding these bikes. You make enough mistakes, even when you're focused on the task at hand, that you need to focus. Yeah, battery's getting weaker. She's struggling up that a little bit more than she was earlier. When you guys are looking at gloves to buy, these Rock Brothers, not real expensive. They got the little gel on the handles and on the palms. You want to get that, because if you fall, that 5mm, 6mm of gel is going to help save your palm. Yeah, you don't have to buy $60 to $100 pair of gloves to protect yourself. I don't know what these were, 20 bucks, $22, maybe $14. I have no idea. I don't remember when I bought them, but these are plenty of protection for me. Yeah, so if this digit stays on, when I get up here, I'll turn around, come back here and there, because that's another almost mile and a half. I might do that a couple of times. Nope. Just went off, I think. Yeah, I'm looking. No, it's still there. Otherwise, I ride around my neighborhood like 5 or 6 times, and people are like, hey, oh, hey, hey. Like, what are you doing? You're like on your 5th trip around the neighborhood. They don't realize I'm just bleeding off battery. They don't say nothing, you know, but I feel like kind of a little bit foolish doing it. You know, get out and ride. Don't just ride the little 1.25 miles of the neighborhood. Yeah, those coyotes, man, they in search of food, and if you own a little cat or a little dog, they will absolutely eat it. Yeah, some of my neighbors have lost their cats because of the coyote. Every time I see one pass through the yard, I text my neighbor behind me, Jack. He's got a small little cat. And I let them know, hey man, coyotes out, be careful. We used to have a pair. They were fairly good size. They looked like small German Shepherds. Fairly good size. 2 of them that roam the neighborhood often. So no juice in the battery. We're still going up at 18 miles an hour. According to that, it's not 18, it's slower, but it's not bad. It's pretty good. Faster than some others. Yeah, faster than some others. Gosh, guys, I hope you enjoyed this beautiful day of riding. Maybe you're watching it on a rainy, cold day where you live, but this is and I'll probably be watching it, editing it on a rainy, cold day here, who knows. But it sure was a nice day. Yeah, I don't think I'll make it one full time around my neighborhood, but we'll try, guys. Gosh, this battery's doing really good. There it went. That's it, guys. All the way home. Turn off the app. Now you could sit this bike for 5 minutes and it will give you a little bit more juice to ride. A little bit, not much, but it will give you a little bit more to ride. So let me give you another hint. I just rode the bike. I just brought it in the garage. I'm gonna let it set a little while, make sure everything cools down before I charge it back up. No need putting extra stress on it while recharging it after you just took it for a ride. And you can tell it, like the battery feels, the motor feels great. Battery, at least this one you can feel a little bit warm. Not crazy warm, but a little bit warm. Might be from the sun or whatever, but I'm just gonna let it set for an hour or two. All right, guys, that's the video for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe below, and we'll see you on the next episode.